Hi friends, welcome back. So for today's video, I thought we could do a little bit of a crochet and chat with me. As you guys, I'm sure have guessed, I have been super into crochet now that we have entered the cozy seasons, and it has basically been my obsession over the last couple of weeks, more so than usual, just because again, it's such a cozy thing, and making something with my hands has been really fun and a nice change of pace from all of my summertime hobbies. So on top of that, I thought while I chat with you all, I would essentially make a dent into one of my current crochet projects, which, by the way, is this super adorable bear. I think it is actually called the Junior Bear, and I have just really been slacking because I essentially started this ages ago, and I think I saw another project that called to me and I abandoned this poor cute bear. And you know what? It is time to make headway and finally start to pick back up where I left off. I did the majority of the work, as you can see. I just really, I think, need to make arms, legs, and a tail, which may sound like a lot, maybe not, but I know that I can definitely do it once I actually sit down and focus. So while I'm doing this, I thought that I would basically just have a little chat with you all, talking about how fall is going, what we're currently reading, and all of that kind of good stuff. So if that sounds like fun, then I urge you to stick around. If you have your own crochet or any kind of cozy hobby that you want to do while listening to me chat and crochet, then go ahead and grab that and I will meet you back here. Okay, so like I said, I am currently in the middle of finishing up this bear. I need to, I guess, start with the arms and legs first. So we're gonna just kind of chat. I've got my pattern here over to the side. I'm starting off by making a magic circle, and then I'm just gonna kind of dive into it, which, by the way, if you guys want this pattern, I can definitely leave it in the description below. That way, if you're interested, you can go ahead and pick it up for yourself as well. I did get it off of Etsy, by the way, if that matters, and it really wasn't that expensive. Most patterns aren't that expensive. I think I might have paid $4, if that. So yeah, that's kind of what we're dealing with. So I've got my pattern over here. I'm going to kind of be looking off to the side. I probably should have counted before I started talking. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, basically, let's chat a little bit. Tell me what you're reading. First of all, tell me what you're drinking. I do have a beverage here. It probably should have been cozy and like a fall themed cup, but we're keeping it real here, and that was clean. So I've got a liquid IV drink in my cup. I really want coffee, but it's kind of late, so I'm trying to avoid doing that. And so yeah, I basically want to just hang out with you all. So let's talk about first what I am reading. I'm actually reading a romance, which, you know, I read romances as well as cozies and every other genre, but I actually saw this one at Barnes & Noble this past weekend and it looked super adorable, and I was going to buy the paperback, but knowing kind of how my reading schedule was going to be over the next couple of weeks, I knew that an e-reader copy would probably serve me best. Anyway, the name of the book is called A Pack for Autumn, and it is an Omegaverse not cozy mystery, geez, though I guess that could be a thing. Anyway, it is an Omegaverse romance, and I gotta be honest, I don't think I've ever read an Omegaverse. I know that my friend Samantha at Books with Samantha is huge on Omegaverse. She loves those so much. Like I said, I just have never gotten around to reading them, but this one looked super cute. First of all, the cover, which I will put right now, is very deceiving, but I mean, I guess that's the current trend of romances now, that the covers are, you know, of course, adorable. This one is especially kind of fall themed. but it gives no indication of the spice level, which again, I don't necessarily have a problem with spice, but let's just say the first couple of pages were not what I was imagining, but it's really cute so far. So it's about this woman, of course I'm forgetting her name, but she moves to this really small town to take over as the light keeper, the lighthouse keeper, and she really just kind of wants to be left alone. She is an Omega for whatever that is worth. And so everybody in the town is super duper welcoming, and she's kind of thrown off by that. And, you know, in addition to the townspeople being super welcoming, she catches the eye of not one, not two, but three alphas, all part of the same pack. Sorry guys, I'm super struggling here because it's always so hard working with blanket yarn and not only finding the original stitches, but kind of getting them in there to begin with. So like, oh, bear with me. Okay, there we go. She catches the eye of these three alphas who are all part of the same pack, and she is attracted to them, but at the same, well, her Omega is attracted to them, whereas her, on the other hand, really just kind of wants to be left alone, like I mentioned. But I just got to the point to where she finally has decided to kind of let her Omega take charge and speak for her and the situation. And so I assume from here they are going to really begin to court her and convince her to join their pack. I don't know. This is still kind of a newish genre to me. I have read plenty of shifter romances, and I have also read, you know, just kind of paranormal romance in general. And usually with pack mentality, I find that there are, you know, some kind of more overt wolf looks involved. And for this one, I'm a little thrown off because it's literally just like a regular romance, but with talk of packs and stuff like that. And so this juxtaposition is just new to me is all. Oh my goodness, these stitches are so tight. Anyway, but I say all that to say I'm really enjoying it. The town is super cozy. The neighbors, because it's a small town, are super nice. And this is the first book in the series, so they've already kind of set up who the heroine for the other books are going to be because they have introduced them, and they all seem super nice. And it's one thing that I love about in romances is found family, and this looks like it's going to be very much that. And so I'm very excited. And again, the town is very small town charming and cute. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, I love it. So tell me what you're reading. There are a couple of cozy mysteries that I am excited to get into that are recent. So the first one is the Meg Reed Adventure series by Ellie Alexander. This is a reprint of her, it was originally called the Pacific Northwest Mysteries, I believe, but Storm Books, who was the publisher of her series, did kind of the same publishing model of her Secret Staircase mystery series, which is that which is that they released multiple books within the series within the same month. So this month, I believe they published 3 or 4 of them. So I'm very excited to essentially binge those, though I will kind of give a caveat. They are not available on audio, at least not yet. And so that's a little bit of a bummer, excuse me, if you were more of an audiobook person, but I'm still excited about them nonetheless. I'm also really excited for what is the name of the book? Candy Corn? Killer Candy? Killer Corn. That is not right. Hold on. I gotta look it up. Killer Candy Corn. I was close. By Amelia Pine, and also Earl Grave Tea by Gretchen Rue, which is part of the Witch's Brew mystery series. Both of these, first of all, are giving heavy fall, Halloweeny, witchy, well, one of them is witchy vibes, which I'm very excited about. And both of them are also new releases. And so to be honest, I usually don't keep up with cozy mystery releases. If something catches my eye and it happens to be new, great. But otherwise, I just kind of go with the flow. So tell me what you're currently reading. Let's see. Right now, I now have to single into each round. Okay, great. So also, let's talk about kind of what books we're reaching for at this time of year anyway, because it's fall. And I know the kind of books that I usually gravitate toward around this time of year is just straight up fall themed books, autumnal books, no matter what the genre is. That's just kind of my jam. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do you read seasonally? Do you just kind of go with whatever, again, strikes your fancy? Do you have a strict TBR that you try to stick to? I cannot do a TBR to save my life. However, I do think it's fun and it keeps me excited to create lists. So I wouldn't necessarily call it a fall TBR or TBRs in general, but just more so lists of books that I am excited to read at any one point. I know that sounds like a total cop out, but like honestly, that's kind of what it is. So that said, I do have fall books that I am excited to get to this season. I actually have not added that many books on my fall TBR, and that's mostly just so that I can keep myself flexible for whatever catches my fancy, because obviously on Instagram and social media and YouTube and blah blah blah, there are so many people coming out with their own versions of lists for the fall season, and so I want to be able to be swayed by their recommendations, basically. Okay, I probably should be counting while I do this, but I'm kind of hoping that the stitch markers that I put down will really just kind of do the work for me. Okay, so let's see. I'm done with this round. We're gonna decrease. Okay, let's keep going with another round. Okay, so speaking of fall, let's talk about kind of non-bookish things, but still kind of fall related, because I am a sucker for all things fall. And this past weekend, I actually went to Bath and Body Works and picked up some candles. That is my thing around fall. And onward, honestly, because it's fall and Christmas. I love a good candle, and I keep them burning in my house almost all the time because I just love the smells. And so this past weekend, I got really lucky. The fates were looking fondly in my favor because they were having their mega sale on candles. And if you know anything about Bath and Body Works, you know that their sale means that the candles are usually like half off. And so this time around, I definitely indulged and I bought myself 3 candles. One of them, 2 of them are pumpkin flavored, and then the other one is more apple cinnamony based. And the one that I started burning first is called Pumpkin Cupcake. And you guys, it smells so good. Where am I? I don't want to lose track. I thought I put a thing in here. I did. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna go with decrease times 2. Okay. So yes, tell me all about your kind of fall ritual. So for me, it is candles. It's obviously staying cozy with like more cozy themed hobbies like crochet. What else do I do? Obviously a lot of Hallmark movies because we're in the season. I actually need to restart my Hallmark subscription because I canceled it over the summer just because I wasn't really watching that many things. But as we all know, Countdown to Christmas starts, and they also have a lot of fall movies. So, let me know. Also, one of the things that I do, or have done rather, is decorate. But I am curious about that because I feel like that's a pretty big divide as to when to decorate. Right now, we are full into fall, so decorations are up for fall. But when do you decorate? I put my fall decorations up in the beginning of September, though admittedly I wanted to do it earlier than that. And I know some people will do fall decorations and then switch over to Christmas. I do want to know when you guys switch over. For some people, it's not until after Halloween. For some people, it's not until after Thanksgiving. So really we can just go a bunch of different ways with that. Let's see. Okay. That's so yeah, let me know. I am already chomping at the bit for Christmas. I can't even lie. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm super excited about fall and I love that we are in the midst of it, but Christmas decoration is just on another level, you guys. Like, this is really just kind of stopover, just a quick little stopover until the main star that is Christmas. But you know, along with decorating comes all of the fall activities, and I'm very excited about that because I think I've been wanting to check out like pumpkin patches for the longest time, and there are a bunch like 30 minutes to an hour from where we are, and so I've been seeing all over online all of the different activities to do there, and you know, it just really gets me excited because I haven't done that in a long time. But a pumpkin patch is always fun because what ends up happening is that I get a pumpkin or apples if it's like an apple picking farm, and then I for sure make a beeline over to the cider donuts and the apple cider because that is my jam. So I'm very excited to do that. But you guys let me know where you live. Do you guys have pumpkin patches or apple farms or anything like that? I don't think it's necessarily an East Coast or West Coast thing, but it is fun. So I'm very excited about that. Okay, so I need to check. This is kind of where I'm at now. Let's see. And it's supposed to be... All right, I think I got a couple more rounds to go. So let's see. I think we're doing good here. Speaking of crochet, and I think I talked about this in my my fall curriculum video about wanting to like crochet, and I have a whole bunch of projects, but of course I know how I am. I've already got my eye on a few other things, and I so badly I want to make a blanket, and I'm trying to decide on the pattern that I want because I love granny squares, but I can't decide what kind of granny square blanket because the traditional one has, you know, obviously multiple squares that you can do individually, and then you end up putting them all together, which that is great for kind of crocheting on the go. But then it can be a little overwhelming because at the very end you end up having to join all the pieces. But then you have something like a continuous granny square blanket, which sounds like it is, which is just one big granny square. And I like that idea because it seems a little less daunting. I don't know. I guess a lot of it also comes down to what the yarn will be. So I'm gonna have to take a trip to Michael's. Man, rest in peace, Joann's, at least the one near me, because that's where I used to get all of my yarn, and it's their selection was the greatest. Though admittedly, I feel like Michael's has been doing a decent job with their yarn selection. I'm just spoiled by Joann's, and I think about that fondly. So anyway, so that is it as far as my crocheting goes. But in terms of like what I like to do while I crochet, unfortunately, I'm not on the level of being able to listen to a book while I'm crocheting, mostly because of the type of patterns that I'm doing. It requires like stitch counting and not necessarily the same stitch all along to where I can just mindlessly focus on something else. So what I end up doing is passively watching whatever my husband is watching in the background, which as of now consists of kind of scary movies for him, and then also the newest season of the Great British Bake Off, naturally. Or what I will also do is listen to podcasts. That I love, and I think it's just because at that point it's more so just like a little bit of a background noise, where if I tune in and out, I'm not necessarily losing anything like a plot line. But I hope to get to the point to where I can crochet and listen to an audiobook at the same time. But I think ultimately it's probably going to come down to the type of project, because something like this takes concentration because of the different rounds and stuff like that. So, okay, I think we are almost there. This feels like, I feel like I should have more than this. And I am a fairly fast crocheter, but with the talking and the focusing, clearly my pace is a little bit slower, but that's okay. This is clearly not a race, but this is what we got so far, and that looks like nothing in context, which I get it. I'm so sorry if you were hoping to have some completed project by the end of this video for the ultimate payoff, but that's just not where we're at. But I am pleased with this. So essentially, I am going to make another one of these, 2 legs and a tail, but I will leave you guys for now, just so that I can start on the next one and you guys can continue with whatever hobby or book that you currently have reading. So Mr. Bear and I, which, side note, he needs a name, we'll see you on the next video. If you have read any of the books that I mentioned earlier, please let me know. Let me know also what's on your TBR, what's on your to crochet wish list, what's on your cozy hobby wish list, what's on your fall bucket list in general. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I will talk to y'all later. Happy reading, friends. Bye!